Okay, now we've all been waiting for to hear from all of our superpower panelists right here. I do want to introduce them, not just by their superpower word. This is Ruchi Pinniger. She came from New York today. We met online because she's associated with this great organization called Savvy Ladies. It's a nonprofit that educates women on everything related to finances. So I kind of trolled the internet and found her, truth be told. And here she is. Then Tiania Barnes. I wish I had the picture to put up. I was at Diana Ross last year, and this woman's sitting next to me, and there are like 6 other women, like bedazzled in glitter. And who else was there? Are you all, are any of them here? Oh. Anyway, so not only were they fabulous, but then I turn again and they all have their fans on because they're sweating profusely in their sequins. And I was like, I need to take a picture of you guys. You are amazing. So fast forward, I reach out to my nonprofit, YWCA. I want some amazing women to feature on this panel. You heard of Tiania Barnes? No, I don't know who that is. We're emailing, and the next thing I know, she goes, TH, you were sitting next to me at Diana Ross. You sent me the picture of me and my besties in our bedazzled outfits for Diana Ross. And here she is today. Lisa Marie, I mean, wait till you hear about her. She and I go way back. I used to be the mother trucker with the food truck mashups around here. She was right there filming it all. And she now has a streaming network called On NJ, but her superpower word is connector, and so we are still connected, and she is connected with so many women in this audience today between Let's Talk and New Jersey Family, and her tentacles are all over this room. And then Miss Felicia kind of picked me up online at a networking event. She came behind me and she said, I know who you are. I was like, what did I do? I'm so sorry. I also have a divorce platform, and she mentioned that I really helped her through her divorce with my divorce platform and everything. And now we're fast friends, and she's pretty spectacular. So you have a lineup of women, mentors, who have spent their time investing in themselves. Time, money, their relationships, and what they do for themselves as a priority, non-negotiable. And I am presenting them all to you today because I feel like they need to be shared. And you wouldn't know about them if I didn't bring them all together here today. And of course, you know Krista now. So, okay. No, that's not it. No. Okay, it's all good. So what I want to start with is, Ruchi, I want you to really talk to our audience about why your superpower is being a luminary, and I want everybody to understand why what you do today is so important to you.
I'm just really glad you didn't ask me to talk about my fun facts. That was really painful.
That's okay.
All right.
This is a learning process.
First of all, I will answer, I promise, but we need a shout out to TH, our creator. Seriously, I walked into the room, and when you come into a big room, you don't always know what you're going to feel. And I was like, the energy in here, and this is you. You create this energy, so thank you for bringing us all together. What am I answering?
Why you're a luminary, and why what you're doing today matters.
Okay, so after 15 years on Wall Street, I left to start my company, Watch Her Prosper. What we do is we help women with their finances. We provide financial guidance, bookkeeping, getting you ready for tax time, no more stressing in January. And all of it is through the lens of money mindset. And the reason that's so important is because what I kept seeing were all the patterns. I saw that we put all the steps in. We have great numbers. You now know what your roadmap is to grow your business, for example. And what did I see? All the things we did, and still there wasn't always the progress, because so many of us carry old beliefs with us. Like 95% of how we show up is based on our subconscious beliefs. and I was meeting all of these incredible, talented women who were letting their old stories get in the way of their success. So that's why we really help you with your money mindset. We help you pay attention to the thoughts. We help you pay attention to how you're reframing them. And what I talk about, and this is so important, is that prosperity is an inside job. There's no bag or no pair of Valentinos that is gonna make you whole. Yes, you know, you can love all those things and you can have all those things, but they're not gonna be what's gonna complete you. And we all have it in us to feel whole. And that's what I love to do, to guide women as their luminary, to guide them and show them the path to prosperity.
And talk about how your Ruchi wasn't very satisfying for you.
Oh, what?
When you were working at large financial, yeah.
Yeah, so look, I mean, by all accounts, I had a really successful career. I made money, I managed a team, I got promoted, all the things, like check, check, check. But I knew there was more for me, and I knew that I was meant to help people. And I talk about my Prada bag story. So, was that what it was? Yeah. So when I was a little girl, I grew up with a single mom, immigrant, coming here from another country. My dad died early on. And one of the things that I really remember was how all of my classmates, all of my friends had all the things. Like back then in the 80s, it was the Jordache jeans. Remember those, y'all? I'm like kind of aging myself? All right. Okay, so, but that's okay. Okay, so.
You're in the right age.
We're in the, I
You're
know.
blossoming right now. That's what Krista said. You're on the cusp.
I feel great, I do, honestly. So, but what I remember about the Jordache jeans was, first of all, we weren't able to get them until they were on the sale rack, but what I saw was with my friends and my classmates, that when they were wearing those jeans, I felt like that meant that they had these like happy, perfect lives. So then fast forward, I'm on Wall Street, making my own money, and now I can afford whatever that thing is, and at the time it was the Prada bag. So I brought the Prada bag, and I was like, okay, it's a really pretty bag. I had the dopamine hit that comes with it. But then, like the next day you wake up, and it's like, well, nothing changed. It's all the same. And that was really when I realized, like, this is on me. This isn't about the thing. This is on me to do. And that's why I love doing this work, to really support women in seeing that thing for themselves.
Sorry. No, here we go. Okay, you can hold the mic. You're next. Yeah, sure. Okay, so Lisa, you have this whole new network that you've created. I'm echoing, sorry. I want you to talk about how you've invested in yourself, and then the product is this network. I mean, you have young kids, you have a very busy life. How do you invest in yourself? Like, how do you carve out time for yourself in terms of your self-priorities?
So it's very hard to do all of that, but this is a very timely answer I'm giving you because, so my husband, he's a financial advisor and he has his own practice as well. We made it a point after our son was born in June of 2023 to go to our happy place once a quarter. Deb Belfato back there knows exactly where I'm talking about. She was present when we got engaged at this happy place. Sorry, Deb, to call you out. It's called the Lodge at Woodlock. Anybody ever been there? Okay, I'm going tomorrow. I am so excited. So when it gets so crazy, I just think of that quarterly trip, and it's only an overnight, but it's true, 48 hours of just disconnecting, spa treatments, excellent food, reconnecting with him, and that's just the goal I have in my mind, and the finish line I see every 3 months. So very excited about that, because otherwise, you have to give yourself an hour here, an hour there, but it's very hectic, as you all can imagine.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Tiania, you're next, honey. Okay, Diana Ross. You're just so fabulous. Okay, so I want you to tell people where you started in your business career and where you are now, and how investing in yourself has led you to this place that you're really just doing amazing stuff.
So that is a very long story, but I'm going to give you the cliff notes of it. So my background is in engineering and I have my math degree and my MBA, and I worked in corporate America. I worked for very large business management and IT consulting companies. Was doing very well in my career, married, we have a son, and probably towards the end of my marriage, I just felt like something was missing. And so you talked about that burning desire. That's what I had. I was waking up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I was having downloads, visions of shoes and sketching shoes. Now, I'm a girl's girl, so I've always had nice shoes, love shoes, shoe girl, you know, all those things. And so after my divorce, it really kind of came to me why I was having dreams of these shoes. I went and took a shoe design class, not thinking anything of it, thinking like, oh, I got a little time now, because now I'm co-parenting, so when my son's with his dad, now I have this time, because it's just me, right? So reconnected with an old friend from college, and we went, well, she didn't go, I went and took a shoe design. I'm mentioning her for a key reason, but went and took a shoe design class. Of all places, I went to Cleveland, Ohio. I did Google research and found all these fabulous classes to take in Italy and even in New York City. I was living in Connecticut at the time. But I couldn't take a week, 2 weeks off of work to go and, you know, be in a shoe class. And I didn't want anything theory-based. I already have 3 degrees, not interested in another degree at all. And so I found a class by talking to the owner, something that was very hands-on and tangible. And the class was kind of expensive. I think she wanted like $3-4 grand that summer. I'm like, my son is in private school, I gotta go to work, I got bills to pay, I'll save up for this one. And so we just kept in contact, and she was the first person to connect me with kind of an illustrator to bring my designs to life, because although I was sketching, it was very raw sketches, because I'm not an artist. I'm a creator, but I'm not an artist, and I'm a designer. And so she connected me with this guy, and he was in Ohio, and so I would, you know, get samples of like the materials that I wanted and the colors, and like raw sketch my shoes. I would send that packet to him via mail, and then some things like via email, and he would send the sketches back, and they'd be all these beautiful creations. I was like, I can't wait to take this class. So took one of those shoes, and I first started naming my shoes after people that inspired me. So the very first shoe that I designed was named after my mother. So it's the Jackie, and it's actually a standout shoe. And so went and took this shoe design class, and I handmade the Jackie. As I became a cobbler pretty much. But in that class is where, and it was a private class, it was just one-on-one. And in that class, she really spoke life into me about being a designer. I went as a hobby, it was just something to do. And so that just brought it all together for me. And literally that was December 2013. In January 2014, I wrote my business plan because the vision, everything was so clear. I knew I wanted my shoes made in Italy. You know, I knew that I wanted to have a factory that could produce heels, flats, like the whole gamut of shoes. And I literally launched my business plan, and I went and got my name registered, did all those things in January of 2014. So I pivoted. I was still working my corporate career, being a mom, doing all of these things. This is why my word is resilient, because I was doing 1,000,001 things and building a business, and then later it became a brand. It clicked to me like there's a difference between a business and a brand, especially in fashion and footwear, the industry that I work in. And you know, I'm doing all these things. I have a pretty good corporate career, and I'm a mom, and I'm, you know, juggling co-parenting and all of these things. But when I took that whole year, 2014 into 2015, I mean, when I look back, I did some quite amazing things that people were probably like, that's so crazy. But it was that drive, it was that internal desire that just drove me to do these things subconsciously. And that's how I really pivoted and started my business and my brand. I spent that whole year, I took kind of everything that I learned from corporate and applied that to my own business. So I was a program and project manager from an IT perspective, so I built high-performing teams, both globally and internationally. took all that experience that I had lived, 15, 20 years of doing, and put that in my own business. I went and found, I wrote a job description for a shoe consultant, that's what I was calling him. And that person was responsible for connecting me with someone in Italy, like a factory in Italy. I went over to Italy and went to all these shoe factories by myself, not speaking Italian. That's what I'm saying. There was a lot of crazy stuff. I would not recommend anybody doing that. Take a friend. But I did all that stuff by myself. It was so crazy just listening to myself say these things, but I did. And I also found all these people on in Google. Like I said, I wanted a shoe consultant. I had all these job descriptions and qualifications, and there was this this footwear kind of community that I tapped into, and it had all these people. I posted the job description. There were 4 people that I narrowed it down to. 2 were in New York City, and 1 was in LA and 1 was in Chicago. I flew to those places and met these people. I had interviews with them, coffee shops. It was so crazy. But anyway, that's what I did. I ended up hiring the guy in Chicago. And one of the requirements was that you had to know the shoe business, and you had to have had your own shoe, either your own shoe brand or be a VP or something like that within shoes. He and his partner had a successful streetwear brand that they later sold, and so that's the person that I hired. And he literally took me from production, and I just learned. I was like, although it was my brand and it was my business, but I learned from him. So I hired this person, took a whole year, studied under him, kind of, right? Went to Italy, visited factories, settled on a factory, built a relationship with the factory, and in 2015 launched my first capsule collection with 3 styles and 2 different colorways. And it was extremely exciting. And now we launched with Nordstrom.com last year, so that's really huge. I've been spotlighted on Amazon, on the Amazon website. I launched with Amazon Fashion about 3-4 years ago. I did a capsule collection with DSW. That's not typically my target audience, but if you know DSW, you know that they do have some luxury items, and I met the luxury footwear buyer. And so during COVID, most of you all know, it was a big spotlight on brands, especially women of color and people of color. And DSW's CEO had a mandate that said, we need to get some creatives of color and do a campaign with them. And I was selected to be kind of the East Coast shoe person, and there was another lady in LA. And so they did a whole expose, and then I did a capsule collection of 3 shoes that pretty much sold out on DSW. So a lot of wonderful things have happened in these last 2 years.
I think what's so great about your story, there are many things, but the fact of the matter is you were open.
Yes.
You were open, you didn't know it all, you didn't know any of it, but you were open to learn and absorb it, and you were present for it, and that's what makes it work. I mean, for any of you guys, did you think this was where you were going to be? Did you, well, Lisa, in a cool package or something, that was what, but I didn't know this was possible. So I think that if you're really open to possibilities, anything can happen, and certainly trusting your gut, right? So this is where you're going to come in, Miss Relentless. Let's talk about how you trusted your gut. I want to understand how you've invested in yourself and your beliefs in terms of your relationships, and who you spend time with, and your priorities for yourself. I know there's a lot there. I probably won't even remember it all, so if you don't answer them all, it's fine.
Well, first and foremost, I'm looking out into this wonderful crowd filled with fabulous women, and it's such a pleasure to be surrounded by such wonderful people. So give yourselves an applause, really. My story, my backstory, and I'll keep it as short as possible. So my career actually started, I worked for the World Wrestling Federation, and then I went on to work for the NFL. And going back, way back, as my kids would say, dinosaur years, because I'm really old. What happened was I was, in a male-dominated industry, and coupled with working internationally, I oversaw all international markets. on multiple levels. And I just think Lisa can attest to this because I just discovered that she had a prior life in with the Giants. I hope you don't care that I'm sharing that. But anyway, knowing that and being with the NFL as a woman, it was very challenging. And my attitude was like, I'm not letting these guys like bully me because, you know, I'm a senior director and I'm in charge. And fortunately, I had a boss that really understood and gave me the power to be who I was. But I'm talking about going to international countries, speaking to 500 people. Half of them don't speak the language, so no matter what I said, it didn't really matter. But they didn't really have a great deal of respect for women. And now times have changed. Obviously, look at this room. We're all successful women and come a really long way. So I had my career going, and then lo and behold, when my daughter was 13 months old, I was pregnant with twins. So I had 3 kids under 22 months, and my ex-husband owned a sports marketing company, traveled 250 to 300 days a year. So I basically raised 3 kids by myself. It was fun, and now they're all out of the house, so I survived. I don't remember a single thing, but that's okay. It's all a blur. They talk about stuff, I'm like, was that me? Was that another mom? But anyway, so now I, you know, needed to be really organized because my 3 kids by myself trying to figure everything out. And they were involved in all different sports, traveling, whatnot. And I literally had clothes laid out, their food, their bags, and then lo and behold, my daughter was 7 years old. She was diagnosed with celiac because she blames it on me because I have it. So then that made it a little bit more complicated. So moving forward, my daughter's leaving for college, and she is like, Mom, if you touch our things one more time, I am going to kill you. And I'm like, she goes, you need to do something with yourself. So what I did was she sat with me and developed my entire business, literally from scratch. And I found it amazing because she cared so much about me and my afterlife, and thinking that like, she knew I was in a miserable marriage and I was getting out of it and wanted to make sure that I was secure and happy. And she's like, you're really good at this, but not for us. So, bye-bye. So what happened was, it was a snowstorm and we sat and she built my entire website. It's changed 20,000 times since. But she built the website, came up with the name, and got me started. And then the entire community of Upper Saddle River stepped up, and they were like, oh, organizing. And going back 7 years ago, there weren't a lot of organizers. Some people were like, what's an organizer? Like, why do I need an organizer? I could do it myself. But then there were my really good friends supported me, then word of mouth happened. And then I grew from a solo business, and now I have over 7 people. I'm happy to say that I got like 7 accolades last year, so everybody knows me, and a lot of people in this room know me and my story, my backstory. I will not bore you, but I had a torturous existence for a very long time, and relentless was my word, because to me, one, in business, no one was going to tell me what to do, and because they were male dominated, because I offered just as much as they did, and I was determined. And then with my kids, I wanted to make sure that they were set and comfortable and understood like life in general. And now one's going on to med school, one's going to law school, and one is in the city making more money than all of us in IT. So, and then still calls and asks for dinner, like money for dinner. It's like the Sunday night sponsor night for the Bechtels. So I'm like, you guys make really good money and you're not coming to me. But anyway, so I love what I do, and I am relentless in everything I do. I run marathons and work out frequently, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but the word... No, I want to remain humble, because really, if you knew how far I've come and gotten here, I mean, I could actually cry right now because I've overcome so much. And just to be recognized as a woman and everything that we go through, and I'm not alone, because we all have a backstory and we all have a journey. And every one of you and every one of your stories is so important to me. So my greatest gift, honestly, as a professional organizer, is walking into a home and helping people. Because honestly, and I'm sure all of you can agree with this, 9 out of 10 women are late for work because they don't know what to wear or can't find it, or they have 10 dresses with tags on it, but they're going out to buy another one for an event on Saturday night. So, yeah, no, it's so true. And the honesty is, like, because of what my backstory is and everything that I've gone through, I think giving back, and I was just talking to somebody this evening, I don't remember who, but I was just saying that, like, I love making people happy, and I love giving. Actually, it was to Joy, my bookkeeper over here, and been with me since the very beginning. She was the president of HASA, and I was the vice president of our high school. So we've known each other, and she and I have been through a lot together. But relentless is something that we all have. It's visions, it's boundaries, it's like knowing that nothing is going to stop you. And just to leave you with this, my license plate on one of my cars, should I say it? You should. Is never quit. NVRQUIT. And that's the rule that I live by. I wake up every day. Thank you. And I wake up every day and I think of, like, how to be a better person, because there are people in this world and it's like, oh my God, like, who are you? Like, we're all in this together. And that's how I view us. Like, we're in this game together, and I love building women up. I love being relentless and teaching it's a skill. It's a mindset. And it's like crossing the finish line and you're reaching, like, the last mile and you're like, I can't do this, and you do it because your mind overcomes so much. And I will remain relentless. Just, my kids notice everything, and it's amazing how thankful they are. And it's funny because I wear this necklace. My daughter's like, you're big, brave, and strong, Mom, and you can do anything. And she gave me a necklace. Not with big, because for me to hear the word big makes me, like, not a good, she's like big as light, not big as a person. But she's like, I don't care, I don't want big on there. But she wrote, like, brave and strong. So I live by that. And I really honor people that walk the walk and talk the talk. So that's my story.
So Lisa, why don't you tell us all how you are connecting all of New Jersey now, single-handedly, as a woman in charge?
This is why I need to disappear every so often.
And we won't call you for the next 48 hours.
Yes,
Don't worry. But I want you to explain to everybody your journey and why what you're doing now is a part of investing in yourself, and how with what you've developed, you are setting a platform for other women and other businesses to invest in themselves.
Yeah, I think the original word was storyteller, and you made me elevate it a little more, because storytelling, hosting my show, it's only one aspect of what I do. So I have been a media entrepreneur since I was 25 years old. I started my first company in 2009. Don't do the math. But I recognized then that I didn't have to work for a network to create and write and do what I love, what I always wanted to do since I was 7 years old. Because I noticed that everything was going digital at the time. So I created a company called Long Shot Productions, and I named it that because it was a long shot that it was going to work out. And it was also a Kelly Clarkson song, and I love her. But anyway, I still have Long Shot to this day. We do corporate videography across the New York metro area, constantly in New York, doing a lot of B2B videos and content creation, corporate events, that sort of thing. So I love doing that. Great pay the bills job, but not my true passion. So I built Long Shot in those early years, and I had a lot of fun, met a lot of people, learned a lot along the way. I mean, I was so young, I had a lot to learn, still do. And then in 2013, and Maria is in the audience, I love name calling because I hate the spotlight being on me. I guess this is why this is my word. We had created an outlet called Hip New Jersey, and that's how we met TH actually, showcasing the coolest things, people, trends happening in the Garden State, and we had a ton of fun doing that. And we launched when the Super Bowl was here in 2014, and then COVID happened, so kind of knocked it out, and we had our own lives to live. But great 6 years. Again, learned a lot, had a lot of fun, met a lot of people. In the midst of COVID, while I was pregnant with my first child, Liana, she'll be 5 in March, someone that I knew in production had reached out to me and said, hey, would you, from our kitchens, want to do an hour morning show on Fridays? I'm like, sure, it was winter of 21, let's go. So we did it. And we consistently did it, and surprisingly to me, people gravitated towards it. Jack Cettarelli, the gubernatorial candidate, he was our first guest. We had Dolores Catania, she was on that same show. Because everyone was bored, so they needed something to do. So we just put the show out week after week. I know, Dolores is cool people. It attracted the attention of a group out in the Midwest called Weigel. And I have no idea who these people were, but they were in the process of purchasing MeTV WJLP for $63 million. So hey, what's up? They were looking for someone who was doing independent media in New Jersey because a contingent of them getting the sale is if they produce a certain amount of New Jersey programming, because Jersey is a barren media landscape, in case you haven't realized. So they found our morning show. So my daughter's a few months old, and they call us. Would you want to do this? So the person that originally called me about the morning show, Gerald, he's like, you have a studio. He works for News 12. He has that background. Do you want to do it? Within 48 hours, an LLC was created. Paperwork was drawn up. Lawyers had to look at it. Go live January 1st of 2022. So it's my daughter's first Christmas. I'm in the studio in Fairfield overseeing the electrician hanging lights and TVs, and I'm like, what is this? But it was 9 daily news updates that had to be delivered and 2 weekend shows. New Jersey Politics with Laura Jones, a down the middle look at Jersey and Trenton and beyond, and then Your New Jersey, which they wanted me to host, which is the good news in the Garden State, which was a total dream come true. It was everything Maria and I worked on, all those years, now like on MeTV, hitting the entire New York area. So we went live January 1st, 2022. We are just starting year 5, and it's been excellent. But because that didn't obviously keep us busy enough, Gerald had an on-demand channel called NJ On Air. So he said to me, we enjoy working together, we're doing this, but there's still a need. And everything is going streaming. Would you want to take NJ On Air, rebrand it, and make it a 24/7 fast channel, they call it? I'm like, okay. Now I'm pregnant with my second. So we launched February 2nd, 2023. We launched on New Jersey. So it is the state's only 24/7 live stream television channel, talking about news, talk, sports, entertainment, politics, community, the arts, you name it. We have a whole roster of hosts. We have special events. And the moment that made me realize, like, wow, we're really onto something, besides getting hit up hundreds of times a day with pitches and everything else, was this summer. We presented to ELEC, which is the New Jersey Election Board. They're the ones that control our elections, and they control the debates and all that good stuff. So we put in for the gubernatorial debate between Mikey Sherrill, Governor Sherrill now, and Jack Cettarelli. We had done primary debates in February of last year and May, but this was the big one. On New Jersey was presenting in front of CNN, MSNBC, and all of the local legacy media channels. was a July day. I'm a nervous wreck. I have a script. I never have it. They know, Lexi knows, Esther, I don't have a script ever. And it was all over Zoom. The meeting was supposed to take place the week before, but then it got like porn bombed, if you've read that in the newspaper, like someone hacked the meeting. Anyway, that didn't happen this time. But I had to go in front of these station directors and talk about why we were it and like why we deserve this. So they deliberated for an hour and they awarded on New Jersey one of two of the debates. And we hosted the first one. Thank you. At Rider University. We broke a record. We had like 2,500 people in the audience, over 1 million streams, through all the repeats and everything else. And that was the moment I realized, like, wow, we're doing something like really special. You hear about PBS going dark this year, although it's not. I have it on good authority. Someone will come in and save it, but it still shows where media is. If you turn on News 12, not to bash them, they're great. They're branded as News 12 New Jersey, but there's stories about Connecticut now, stories about Long Island. Why? Because they've slashed budgets, consolidated studios, and they've realized, oh, we can get away with just one feeding the tri-state area like 12 other channels can. So again, what sets us apart is we are 100% New Jersey, and it's needed. And it really is connecting the Garden State in all the ways. And thank God we have hosts like Ken Rosado and Laura, because I can't do it all, So, just thank you for your support, Maria. Thank you. And everyone, thank you for watching, listening, supporting. It just means the world.
I mean, you've been a tremendous support to me, to Women for Women Today, and for my whole endeavor in bringing experiences that are different to Bergen County. So I really appreciate it. I also want to do a shout out to Deb Belfato. She's still back there. She is one of our mentor alumni.
The godmother of New Jersey.
She produces an event called Let's Talk Women's Health and Wellness, which is in March, which if any of you are around, you should definitely go to learn about how to be healthy, how to help others who are less healthy, and to really have a full gamut of resources. At this point, I think I have over 30 different Women for Women Today alumni mentors, and now you are all among them. So I'm grateful to all of you for showing up tonight, for all of these fabulous women, and sharing your stories. The pillars of this event are to empower, connect, inspire, and learn. And I'm sure that each of you has had at least one of those pillars resonate with you tonight, if not all.